Path of Night is an actual play Vampire the Masquerade podcast set in the classic world of darkness. We're all friends, we're here to have fun, but our story can include graphic violence, drug use, sexual content, and other mature themes. We've talked at our table about safety, comfort, and consent, both as players and storytellers. We know what to expect, we're all excited to be here, and we want you to feel the same, so listener discretion is advised. Now, let's walk the path of night.
After several long nights alone, Miles, Johnny, Wynn, and Britta reconvened at the Toreador's Haven. They discussed the troubles they faced and the domain's future. Britta told the Quartery about her encounter with Vito Zantosa and the ghost of Romeo. Wynn explained about the fresh horrors of the Shadowlands, and Miles' new position as sheriff had left a rift between him and Johnny as the Brujah bristled against the slight to his mentor Weathers. As Britta and Miles deal with the problem of Detective Suarez, Johnny and Wynn take a drive to have an uncomfortable conversation with the former Brujah sheriff. Johnny and Wynn, the two of you get ready to head out, meet with Weathers, and have a conversation about the future and his place in it. Who's driving? Johnny, is that you?
Yeah, absolutely.
It should be Johnny.
What are you driving?
Johnny's got an old pickup truck. Just some beat-up old thing, single cab, maybe a little bit of a space in back for a few items, but it's one of the vehicles that he often gets assigned to him doing work for the domain. I don't think Johnny actually owns a personal vehicle. He kind of just gets different things for different days.
So Johnny, have you cooled off a little bit?
He gives a sideways glance at you for just a second before eyes going back to the road. Yeah, I'm cool as can be, Wynn. Why?
Because you got into it with Miles, and you usually don't get into it. You defended Miles from me, and this time I had to do it for you. And normally that's not the case. So it takes a lot to push that button for you.
You don't think the past few weeks have been a lot?
I do think the last few weeks have been a lot.
Because this domain doesn't look anything like it used to.
No, it doesn't.
So what's your point?
My point is, I need you to be okay if we're going to go and try to talk sense into Weathers.
Johnny grabs his pack of cigarettes, pulls out a Morley and pops it into his mouth, flips open his Zippo and lights it up, puts the Zippo back away. I don't even know what the hell Weathers is going to say. I don't even know what Miles wants me to get out of Weathers.
Honestly, I think if you can get him to stay, however begrudgingly, I think that's all Miles expects.
And what if Weathers gives me an offer for someplace better than New Haven?
I can't give you that answer, Johnny. That's on you. I have all the reasons in the world to leave.
Johnny pops a Morley into his mouth, snaps open his Zippo, lights it, snaps it, and puts it back into his pocket. Look, the domain has changed. All of the bullshit is being dumped right on our heads, and it feels like Miles is part of the wheelbarrow doing the dumping now. That's never been the case, but it's all different now.
Yeah.
Is he my boss now?
No.
Are you, really?
Has Miles ever been our boss?
Yeah, but he wasn't the sheriff before. Now he is.
Does that matter to you?
I have been working for the sheriff's office of this domain. So what is that? How does that change things here? And apparently the sheriff's office isn't even an actual thing anymore. It's just apparently Reese's bag agency, because orders from Reese are coming directly through Miles now.
Do you trust Miles?
Right now?
Generally speaking, do you trust Miles? Has he done us dirty before?
No, but things change, Wynn.
You're talking to someone who knows that really well, Johnny. You're talking to someone who's the last one in the domain.
Yeah.
I know how fast things change. And I know how shitty it must feel right now. I don't know. There's other Brujah, I guess, but I think you're the last good one.
Maybe.
So, I'm gonna stay. I would love if you stayed. Because I don't want to be the last line of defense between Britta and between Miles. I want someone standing beside me. So if Weathers makes you an offer you feel like you can't refuse, who the fuck am I to say don't take it? But I'm really hoping that you have better incentives to stay. Because I have to go be in Boston at some point. And I don't want to leave these guys undefended.
I'll keep that into consideration, Wynn, but why are you planning to go to Boston? I know you mentioned that something with the Giovanni.
There's something wrong with the Shadowlands.
Okay. You're going to have to give me a little bit more than that, because it doesn't mean much to me. So tell me exactly what you mean by something's wrong with the Shadowlands, because that means very little to me.
All right, so there are things in this world called wraiths. Wraiths are the spirits of people who have died and can't move on.
Basically ghosts.
Ghosts.
Okay.
It's a way of looking at it.
I'm with you so far.
Okay, something is wrong with the place they call home. And I use that term very loosely because the Shadowlands is... Life as a wraith, so to speak, is hard. The only way to make new things as a wraith is to use other wraiths as the material. So it'd be like if I walked up to you and skinned you, and used your skin to make a coat. So wraiths already don't have a whole lot going for them. And what I saw in the Holy Land was that
I'm sorry, what's the Holy Land?
The old abandoned amusement park in Waterbury or something.
Oh. Yeah.
It,
What were you doing out there?
There's a wraith I know who told me that there was something honky going on there. Hinky, not honky.
Okay. And you can trust this wraith?
Oh no, he's not trustworthy. That's why I went out to see what was going on. And what I saw was wraiths getting called back to their bodies, and the bodies reanimating, but they weren't really there. Zombies. Night of the Living Dead sort of zombies.
The hell?
Yeah. And then I talked to Raven about what I saw. And she said that that tracks with something that's been going on in Boston that the Giovanni are looking into. Giovanni are necromancers. I'm a medium. I can see what's going on there. I can't use magic to impact it or anything like that, but I can see what's going on and I know how to interact with the ghosts.
So, if Boston's a city full of necromantic vampires, and you're a medium, are you sure that it's a good idea to go up there trying to ask them why there's zombies in Waterbury?
As the two of you discuss, you head down the road right on Dixwell, and you can see what looks like people fleeing from a Dunkin' Donuts. The sign out front, it's still, shining with that pink light, but inside it's totally dark.
The hell is that?
Looks like a masquerade breach to me.
All right, well...
Johnny pulls the truck over onto the sidewalk and puts it into park and kills the headlights and just kind of stares at what's going on, trying to see if he can see anything to give him any kind of indication about what's causing the commotion.
It's like when you look in the window, even knowing that on the other side is a window that you should be able to see out of, it's just dark.
Wynn does a quick look around. She's looking to see if anyone is paying any attention to the truck itself.
It looks like everyone who was aware of what was going on has already started to flee, and this place is already kind of abandoned.
Wynn cups her hands around her eyes and activates her gangrel eyes.
Okay.
And tries to see through the darkness.
It does not help as much as it normally would. What you see is like this murky, black, inky cloud that obscures all objects that are inside.
What do you see?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Like, you don't see anything in there.
I see more darkness.
Johnny narrows his eyes and reaches around back into the little storage space and pulls out a bag in which he pulls out a ceramic barreled shotgun.
That's still got the dragon's breath rounds?
He cracks it and takes a look inside. Yep. Snaps it shut.
All right, let's fix this shit.
Wynn, if you don't see anything in there and all it looks is just inky, I think that's what they call obtenebration. It's something the Sabbat can summon. It's like living darkness.
How does living darkness hold up to a flare?
Well, it doesn't much like light. And anything that's not the sun is just devoured. Nothing pierces through this. Nothing.
So what's our plan? I open the door and you start firing?
Johnny takes his cigarette and throws it out the window and licks his lips. I have no idea.
Do you have another one of those by chance?
Johnny looks down and looks over at Wynn. No, but tell you what, you take this one. He reaches around and pulls out the matte black axe.
All right, if I drop this one, I'm sorry.
We'll tell Miles I did it. He's already pissed at me.
Cross that bridge when we come to it, man.
So the two of you pull in right up to buy that Dunkin' Donuts. And again, there's no light coming from within. You can kind of get the light from like the truck as the doors pop open and the two of you step out. What are you planning to do?
My plan is to open the door and fire. Because if I can't see them, hopefully they can't see me. And if they can, maybe they'll come out of this shroud.
And Johnny, what are you going to do?
Wynn, we'll stay in the truck. Going into that shroud is a death sentence. We got to see if we can get any of them out of there.
How would you feel about wrecking the truck?
I'd rather have a way of getting out of here if things get real bad.
Okay.
This pack keeps a lot of city gang people around. And if it's even odds, I might not feel bad about possibly getting into a fight. But if we're outnumbered 2-1, 3-1, I'd rather just put my pedal to the metal and get out of here.
Okay, then you take the gun.
Hold on to it for the moment. Johnny's going to lean out of the window and just call at the Duncan. Anybody in there want to talk?
You call out, and for a long moment, there's just this silence. Maybe nothing heard you. And then you hear this creak under the truck, and it shifts slightly, jostling the two of you. And I need an initiative roll.
Nice.
All right.
Ugh.
I wish it was possible to truly capture on audio how tense these moments of silence before shit happens are.
I may have just saved our lives. We'll see.
I definitely didn't.
Johnny, what's your initiative?
21.
Hell yeah.
I think you
Wynn, what's your initiative?
10.
Johnny, you are completely certain that there's something underneath the truck. And you feel this jostling and shaking underneath the vehicle. What do you do?
I throw the truck into drive, and I peel out, just crushing whatever's underneath the truck.
Let's say your truck has, we'll say strength 8 we'll say your truck has strength 8 going to pull out. So you're going to roll your dice, and the things you're attempting to escape will roll for its dice.
And I get to add my drive plus strength?
Yes.
Difficulty?
The difficulty of your roll is 6.
That is 6 successes.
Okay.
Nice.
I've got a set of rolls because they are working in unison.
Gross.
Very gross.
They have 12 successes as they tear the axles clean off the truck. It's turned over on its side, and you can see long black tendrils made of pure darkness starting to pull the truck apart. Their turn. There are 8 tentacles in all. 4 of them are going to lash out at each of you.
Weren't there action to pull my truck apart?
No, that was them starting combat in your attempt to get out.
Gotcha.
Wynn, they have 6 successes to hit you.
Okay.
It's way too many dice, buddy.
7 levels of lethal damage are coming at you. I need you to roll soak.
Am I down 2 levels of stamina?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
No, you're not in a shot of night.
Okay, cool.
So I imagine you can see how that kind of stacks.
Yeah. 5 successes.
You will take 2 levels of lethal damage. I just need a self-control check.
1 success.
You maintain control of yourself as your beast rattles within its cage and you are lashed. Some of your flesh is kind of torn open by this, like, very sharp tentacle made of pure darkness.
Motherfucker!
Johnny, you're missed.
All right, a bit of luck.
Those are the two that are, like, have reach of you. What we're going to do now is go to Wynn's action.
Wynn kind of forgets about the shotgun and goes on instinct since she was pretty close to having her beast take control. And she pops her claws, which are now much longer and kind of gross looking. They're not just long fingernails like they used to be. These are killing talons.
Like the hooked talons of an eagle.
Yeah, they're no good. And she swipes at the thing in front of her.
Okay, give me your attack roll on the appendage.
3 successes.
2 will carry over into damage.
5 successes.
With 5 successes, you shred and destroy the first of the tentacles. Johnny.
This is the top of the round now?
Yep.
I'm going to spend 3 blood for extra actions. So how many tentacles do I see? Rather, better question. I'm ejected from the truck, right?
Yes.
And how many tentacles do I see still pulling it apart?
7.
Firing a shotgun into the darkness of the Dunkin' Donuts is like throwing a dart in the black, right?
Right, and if they're obfuscated, you're automatically going to miss.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I could do the most destruction with at the moment.
Yes! That's that Johnny way of life.
Johnny. All right, so what's the most destruction I can cause with a single die roll?
All right. I think what I want to do is I want to split my action. I think I want to grab up the shotgun that Wynn ditched and try and grab the explosive half of the truck and throw it through the plate glass of the Dunkin' Donuts.
So it's going to take 1 action to draw the gun, 1 action to chuck the tank, 1 action to shoot the tank. This is a 3-action job. You can split.
I can split up to 3 times, right?
Yep.
You also have all your extra actions.
Yeah, but I want to keep
He wants to save those.
I want to save those for dodging things and potentially killing things that come out after me.
Yeah, you basically want to take your dex plus firearms and divide it by 3.
Because to be perfectly honest, it's not the tentacles I'm worried about. That's worrisome, but definitely not the those are minions. Do you need me to make a strength check for throwing it or anything like that? I assume I can grab the shotgun without a problem.
Actually, if you're not throwing it at someone, if there's no target, you can just chuck.
Okay, perfect.
You're plenty strong enough.
Then I'm going to spend a willpower on this firearms attack because I only have 2 dice. Then we're looking at 3 successes.
The tank smashes through the window. The tank part of an axle and
That's a
chunk
Rorschach
of the flatbed. We'll get there. It smashes through, and then you fill the area with a dragon's breath round. And the tank goes. The tank does not actually explode. Instead, accelerant sprays all over a portion of the Dunkin' Donuts, which immediately goes up. A massive amount of smoke starts billowing out of the broken window, and the entire area goes up in flames. With that said, I need a Rorschach check from all vampires present. So I'm going to need to make 4 rolls myself, and then you guys are...
Yo, boy.
Courage?
Yep.
Difficulty?
7.
Pens do not explode on that, right?
No, but they
2 successes.
All right.
I'm going to spend a willpower on this.
Okay.
Vampire's so at odds with my normal stuff.
2 successes.
Succeed. Very much succeed. So, Johnny, have a moment.
After he lights the Dunkin' Donuts on fire. I tried to be civil, but I guess we can do this the hard way.
What screeches and flutters like bats are these wisps of darkness that come from inside the Dunkin' Donuts. They smother the flames, they come out and pop the street lights around the area, and a whole section of the street, all light is snuffed out. The fire is gone. Wynn, your turn.
Are there more tentacles?
7 of them.
All right. I'm going to slash at one of them. Oh, that's a lot of ones. No successes.
Wynn, there's a group of tentacles that are going to attempt to initiate a grapple with you.
Okay.
Okay, the first one has you. Once the first one has you, the rest start latching on. And Johnny, you start seeing Wynn being pulled into a mass of writhing tentacles made of pure darkness.
Wynn is attempting to bite them futilely, but...
Yeah, the more she thrashes, the worse it seems to get. And Johnny, it's your turn.
Well, I have 3 celerity actions. And whoever is conducting these are staying safely within their shroud, right?
You're not sure where they are.
Could I wrench Wynn out of the grasp of the tentacles?
It will be a contested strength roll against all of them. Well, strength plus brawl.
I want to get out of here.
All right, let's go. Get it, Johnny.
Johnny runs over to where Wynn is under the pile of tentacles and just reaches down a meaty arm until he finds something solid and tries to pull her loose. So I'm going to spend blood for potence, and I'm going to spend a willpower. 11 successes plus 4 points of potence, so 15 successes.
15 successes.
I
Good,
like
good
that.
Lord, Johnny.
I'm going to dislocate something, but I'm on board.
Yeah, you may not get all of her at this rate, but you're definitely going to get the lion's share.
Look, if I lose a shoe, that's fine. They've lived a good
I need
life.
2 dice.
Miles might even prefer if Wynn loses his shoe.
Yep.
I'm just rolling for all of them at once. It's going to be 1 main dice roll and then just plus 1 for every helper.
Absolutely.
Rather than
I'm assuming that you're going to get...
against
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah
3 successes. You wrest her free up onto your shoulder like fireman style.
and then I use 2 celerity actions to get the
And-
fuck out.
The tentacles writhe, reaching for her, and but they only have a 6-4 reach. So you back out pretty quickly.
Wynn flashes a couple middle fingers with giant claws as they run away.
As you're flashing your middle fingers and as Johnny runs away, there are 2 people on the roof of the Dunkin' Donuts staring at you. One of them is this guy with like a thick beard and like this high and tight, kind of clad in like late 90s, late 90s tack gear. He's got this like meaty like bulk to him. He's not like insanely tall, but the guy like looks like he weighs 250 pounds easy. And the other one is a Spanish woman with curly hair with a cutlass on her hip. And the 2 of them together watch you go as if analyzing your every move.
I'm not trying to get off of his shoulder.
And I'm not trying to stop.
All right, the 2 of you make it away. You journey down Dixwell Avenue, and it definitely seems that you've gotten away from the heat. If you're being stalked, there's no sign that it's happening.
Johnny, you can put me down now.
No, I don't think I can.
Johnny, take a breath.
Trust me for a second on this, Wynn. We gotta get real far away from here.
All right, I trust you, man.
Johnny, you hear a whisper from nowhere.
All of a sudden, he stops abruptly and looks down at what he's got for weapons and realizes he probably dropped the shotgun and left it back there. So he grabs the matte black axe in a 2-hand and kind of looks around nervously. Did you hear that?
You hear what sounds like the distant laugh of a hyena, but you're certain that it's much closer. Johnny, you are immediately given flashbacks of the night you were embraced and the heckling laughter that came from these things.
Does Wynn hear that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man, keep running. Johnny!
All right, move. Johnny starts moving, but he's at this point he's gone out of celerity, and he and Wynn are just moving quickly.
Johnny, as you round one of the corner, you nearly bump into someone, and it's a familiar face. Johnny! You immediately recognize Kabir, who is wearing like this very fluffy, kind of like poodle-like coat. He's got like this really sick gold medallion that's hanging on a chain around his neck, and he looks like he's been clubbing all night. He looks very ecstatic to see you. Johnny, I have so much to tell you, my friend.
A big, meaty arm grabs him by the scruff and slams him with Potence 4 into the brick.
He gasps. Johnny, my friend, you don't have to attack me.
I got the Sabbat in my heels right now, and you just happened to turn the corner into my face. You got one chance to say something before I take your goddamn head off.
I can hide you.
He looks over at Wynn.
Yeah.
He looks over at Wynn, like recognizing she's a gangrel, and there's this moment between them, but beyond that, everything seems okay.
Okay,
you come with me, I'll hide you. It'll be fine. Don't worry, Johnny. I know you're very upset. He kind of like tries to get behind you and like push you with his hands, like just way too like touchy and like not taking the situation quite seriously enough.
This is not permitted. He does not get behind Wynn.
Johnny kind of moves along with him, but is
okay.
He is exuding near frenzy at this point.
As the two of you get into the alley, he waves his hand, and what looks like a simple brick wall manifests at the edge of the alley, hiding the two of you from the streets beyond.
I'm sorry, Kabir.
It's okay, my friend. What happened?
The killing spree.
My friend, we should go. This place is not safe anymore.
No shit, Sherlock.
I gotta find Webb.
My name is Kabir. It's very nice to meet you. Okay, introductions later.
Kabir, did you have to talk to Wynn for anything?
What?
Never mind. Somebody's just using your identity. They're dead now, though.
Well, good. So, I am here, actually needing a drive. Is now a bad time?
For what?
I need someone to get me to JFK. I have to pick up someone for a contact of mine.
You need a ride to JFK.
Yes, I'm not going to JFK alone. It's dangerous.
Kabir, the Sabbat is in the midst of a crusade coming up the East Coast. For all I know, they've got an entire army coming out of New York.
Johnny,
I don't think trying to drive
they're
down
going
there...
to crusade the Camarilla. We will be fine. All we have to do is lay low and let this blow over. I will show you how.
Look,
Johnny, we still got people to talk to, man.
I need to find Weathers right now, Kabir.
I don't know if I can help you with that. Yes, I can. Do you need a ride?
Well, considering that my truck just got pulled apart by arms of obtenebration, I think I could probably use a ride.
Very good. I give you a ride, you give me a ride. Let's go.
He kind of rolls his eyes and kind of looks at Wynn like, just roll with this for the moment.
She gives him a look like, okay, toot toot, let's hop on this crazy train.
So, Johnny, I don't know if you're allowed to talk about this, but do you know what the Book of Nod is? He kind of like just kind of asks while walking with you.
How much does Johnny know about what the Book of Nod is?
You only know that
because I feel like Kabir is actually the source where Johnny gets all of his like weird, obscure knowledge. So if Kabir hasn't told me about it, I feel like he probably has never heard of this.
So, not exactly in this case.
Okay.
So Kabir has never brought this up to you. He has brought up many other things to you. But this is one of that rare occasion where he's asking you if you know about something. It just so happens that the priest of the killing spree reads passages from the Book of Nod to those who are being inducted and taught. It's a part of their rite. So you would definitely know that this is an item of interest to the Sabbat.
I might know a thing or two about it.
Very good. I have a friend who is an artist. He's coming into the area, and he's going to need a place to stay. I'll cover the place to stay, but I need him to be safely transported. He's very worried about being followed.
By who?
I don't know.
How the hell have you heard about the Book of Nod, Kabir?
Johnny, I travel places. You know that.
It's not hard to get information on.
Don't worry, my friend Johnny, he doesn't do books, but he knows lots of other things. So, why don't we get to the car?
Yeah, let's get to the car.
He gets you to this, like, really, really shitty station wagon with wood panel siding.
Who the hell did you steal this from?
I have no idea what happened.
No, I'm driving. Push over.
Like, he's very easily pushed aside by you.
Wynn hops in the fold-down tailgate and sits back there.
It's actually pretty comfy.
Yeah.
Miles is going to kill me for losing that shotgun.
He'll kill us for losing that shotgun.
No, it was... Never mind.
Not throwing you under the bus, man.
I appreciate that.
Johnny, if you need a shotgun, I can add that to the list of payments you receive in exchange for you protecting me when I go to New York.
All right, well... All right, first off, where... You said you couldn't help me find Weathers. Is that true or not? Can you help me with that?
Find Weathers? No, I don't go anywhere near the sheriff. But I do have a car, so when you find Weathers, I can help you get there faster.
All right. What?
You know him best.
Let's get to a payphone. I'll call Weathers beeper.
All right.
All right, Johnny, with Kabir and Wynn, you make your way to a payphone.
You know, the big three.
I try to go somewhere where that is distinctly away from where this killing spree was.
Absolutely.
Get out, make a quick call to the beeper, hang up.
The phone rings.
Pick it up. Weathers?
Johnny?
We need to talk.
Yeah, I don't know I have a whole lot to say.
No, Weathers, we really got to sit down and talk. I'm kind of floating without any guidance here, and I could really use some of your insight. And I know that you might not be going in the same direction I am, but I could really, really use an old bruja who's actually got a good head on his shoulders to tell me some things I need to hear.
He gives that grunt of like, I don't want any of this shit, but I gotta look out for the young lick. Yeah, Johnny, tell me where you are and I'll head there.
I give him an address.
Meet me there in 15.
Sounds good.
That sounded positive?
Yeah, Weathers should be headed to, he's gonna meet us here in 15.
Okay.
The
that
address
gives us time to talk about the
the
York
address
shit?
the address that I gave him is like a small little like late night greasy late night greasy spoon of some kind.
America's Diner.
Where we the three of us head over and we go grab a booth and 3 coffees that we don't drink. We just
Kabir
action
absolutely
to.
drinks his coffee.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
That motherfucker. Of course he does.
Like, are you going to drink yours?
Wynn sips hers and swishes it around in her mouth and keeps spitting back into the cup so that she kind of gets the taste but doesn't have to swallow it.
You're not completely sure, but you think Kabir might be like winking at you the whole way.
After she spits in it for maybe the 6th time, she slides it over to him. Yeah, here, have it.
He kind of looks down at the coffee, looks over at Wynn, and he picks up the cup of coffee. And right before he takes his sip of it, Weathers can be seen walking in. And distracted, Kabir sets the mug down.
Johnny looks up at Weathers and kind of smiles grimly and nods.
Wynn kind of gives a grin and like, hey.
Weathers, this is Kabir. I don't know if you two have actually ever met.
Kabir kind of, at the second you say that, Kabir gives the sheriff a very apologetic look and excuses himself from the table, standing up, downs his cup of coffee, and walks away.
Which cup of coffee?
The Wynn cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's made of Wynn.
Gross.
Kabir tiptoes away. Weathers looks at you, Johnny, shakes his head. Look, I'm not the sheriff. I ain't the keeper of Elysium, and I don't give a shit that guy does not have hospitality. But you might want to look into that.
Look into what?
Kabir and his lack of hospitality.
Look, I get it.
Good.
He's a
It's
rabno.
basic shit, so I'm glad you get it.
He saved my life. All right?
Good. Then you should do him the solid and get him hospitality, but that shit's illegal right now.
All right. Like you said, you're not the sheriff anymore. Sit down, talk with me. What the fuck happened?
He gives you a look like he is frustrated with unlife enough right now that he might slap you for telling him to sit with you. But then he sits with you. Nothing new happened. More of the same. But this time around, I don't know if I want to just, take it for the greater good. I think it's time that I went looking for something for me and stopped, living at the whims of these kindred who don't give a fuck about what happens to everyone else. Let's be real, Johnny. You see what I see. All I'm doing now is acknowledging that it's there.
Yeah, I get it. Part of the reason that I came out to see you tonight was Miles wanted me to talk some sense into you. And I pretty much told him to get fucked. But he's not wrong. I do have to talk to you.
What do you need to say? He kind of settles into his seat, like really kind of showing with his body language that he's open to hear whatever it is that you got to say.
What's worth saving in this domain?
A handful of things. A list that takes a while to jot down, not because it's long, but because it's hard as hell to figure out what actually makes the cut. But you ain't wrong. There are still things on that list.
Do you want to stick around and try and help me save any of them?
Do I want to? No, Johnny, I don't want to.
Are you going to go side with Amaya?
No. The truth is, Amaya's got a lot of game. She's very good at convincing people that they can be free, that they'll be safe. But the truth is, she's got her own game going on, and if the followers of Set don't get her, someone else will. They're not in a better position. They're just in a different one, and I don't know if it's the one for me.
The Anarchs are at war with the followers of Set?
The opposite.
The followers of Set are at war with the Anarchs.
More like more than a handful of Anarchs have been subverted by the followers of Set. Turning to them for magic and power.
So, like what happened with the Bruja and Shaw.
Yeah.
Listen, Weathers, I think you know me well enough at this point that you know I have no love for the Camarilla. I'm Camarian for 4 reasons. This loose cannon, that she kind of gestures to Johnny, who just
kind of gives you a nod of understanding.
Kind of blew up a Dunkin' Donuts tonight.
What?
We're going to fix it later.
Long story.
The Iceman in Chief, the former dead girl walking, and the memory of the bravest lunatic that I utterly failed. Those bastards are my lifeboat.
Johnny kind of shakes his head, sits back to pull out a cigarette, and then realizes he's out, crumples the pack, and throws it on the table.
The Bruja across the table from Johnny kind of reaches into his pocket, takes out a pack of Newports, packs it, and offers this like long menthol 100 to Johnny.
Johnny goes a little bit green.
Smoke the fucking cigarette.
Thanks, Weathers. Pops it in his mouth. Lights up.
And if that day ever comes where that lifeboat that I have isn't around, probably just sink into the nights. Probably become some kind of urban legend, Sasquatch of East Rock Park. But that day isn't today, and I'm gonna fight with every possible means to keep the ones that I still can with me. And that includes doing everything I can to keep you here. Because I believe you're the only other person in these nights who gives a shit about us.
I don't want you guys getting lost in this war.
Weathers, my coterie is...
We need you, man.
My coterie is the closest thing that I actually have to a family anymore. My mortal family, I can't be with them anymore. It's just too dangerous. But you're the person that I actually owe a life boon to. And boons aside, I got your back no matter what. So you ask me to do something, it'll be done. And I don't really have a leg to stand on to ask anything of you. But if you want to stay in this city and actually play the jihad, I got your back on that. Because there's still some motherfuckers who could use some comeuppance here.
Yeah, there is revenge. That's one of the things I have left. Look, the coterie did some fine work and stood up to A danger that I don't think everyone even completely understands just yet. What you did was important. I don't think I have any interest in ending up some Venture's bully boy. But I won't forget what you did either. So if you need me, you got me too. I'll stay long enough to see this done. Whatever it is.
Wynn puts her hand out to shake his.
This, gnarly, scarred, muscular, meaty hand reaches out and takes yours. And although he's a little cold to the touch, you can kind of, feel this, this very, very muscular hand squeeze yours. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like one of those hands where you can't quite even squeeze your hand all the way to shake his hand back.
Yep.
It's like a polar bear giving paw. It's just not. It's not an easily accomplished handshake.
Yeah, and Wynn doesn't have tiny hands, but it's still hard to get around.
Yeah.
But she figures it would probably be poor form to try and head bump him like she does other people she respects. So this is the closest she can come to being civilized.
What do you guys need from me?
Right now, I think we just need to know that we still got a couple more allies in the city. We're trying to formulate a plan. But right now, I don't know what to do.
You got to get the Tremere on board. They're the only ones with the know-how to kind of deal with this stuff in ways that the Sabbat won't easily be able to manage. You go toe-to-toe with them in the streets, you're going to lose.
Yeah, that's just what happened.
So we have to find another way. We got to play a game that they're not good at.
Getting along?
No, they're damn fine at getting along.
I meant the Tremere, but...
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do the Tremere want?
Who knows?
They want information about what's going on in Boston.
They want Vito Zantosa, but we don't know why. They're hiding something. And whatever's going on in Boston, that's got to be something else that they're hiding, because I haven't heard barely anything about it.
We can talk about it if you want.
Amirs.
I might have done something real stupid with Zantosa, Weathers.
Okay, define stupid.
I may have embraced him.
All right, I need a quick frenzy check. Hold on.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Oh boy!
I hope you guys didn't like that Denny's.
I had forgotten that Weathers did not know that.
I had not, but making that public information.
Spreading a point of willpower, and he will succeed due to a point of willpower.
Just because he thought about it.
These, he looks actually rather calm. You start to realize that while he's talking, there's fangs in his mouth.
Seeing him tense up and get serene for a second, Johnny leans back to get out of his personal space, because even on the opposite side of the booth right now, that's in his personal space.
That monster does not deserve to be one of us.
When we went to go pick him up, Britta ended up shooting him.
What?
It was like some kind of Manchurian candidate thing. I don't know what exactly is going on.
Fuck.
But he was dead. And I know that we needed him.
This is Romeo all over again.
Wait, what?
I never heard what happened with that kid. What was his whole deal, Weathers?
Not a lot of it's known. All I know is that the prince had heard something and suddenly ended the investigation into it. The Malkavian Primogen intervened, said something to him, and he backed off. I heard rumors. Yeah. I heard rumors that this guy had all kinds of talents that some, graffiti artist, street punk would never be good at. One of them was being a smooth operator with a rifle.
He gives a real hard look over at Wynn, like, oh God.
Wynn looks back kind of with some more knowledge, and she's kind of putting some pieces together.
How long has this been going on?
I think we first started noticing that there was something a little bit weird about her amnesia, maybe after Reese got me and Miles out of torpor.
She told me about a memory she had that was set in the Shadowlands.
Yeah, this sounds like the Romeo situation.
Do you think this is related to the Sabbat, or is this something else completely?
I don't know. She could be some sort of sleeper, or like a ghoul family, or who knows.
I mean, that's...
But I'm sorry, what was that?
To be perfectly
apologizes.
honest, that's kind of way down on our list of priorities at the moment.
Well, they might all be one and the same on some level, right? So if she shot Vita Zantosa, there's a chance that he knew something about her.
And you said Nix knows about this too, huh?
Yeah, she's been laying low for a while.
Can't say that I blame her.
I think it might be time that we go pay her a visit.
Yeah, be careful about that. There's something wrong with Nix.
I mean, it's kind of something wrong with all of us, man.
Yeah, and here I am saying be careful with her.
Look, I know that the Malkavians have some kind of weird sickness going on with them. Is it really that bad?
Yeah. Yeah, she freaks her own clan out.
Yeah, Neil.
But she's a seer. She tends to know things that nobody else knows. Sees things in ways that no one sees them.
Well, if we need to get information that we can trade to the Tremere to try and get them to at least help us out against the Sabbat.
That might be a place to start.
Yeah.
Locating people is kind of a weird specialty of hers. I used to hit her up back in the day.
Maybe we can even have her help us find Zantosa.
We might need it.
Since I embraced him, he's been
He escaped down the water pipes.
difficult.
Vito's gone?
He's been keeping a weird eye on Britta.
I don't think he's far.
Vito's gotta go.
You think keeping him around at this point is more trouble than it's worth?
The way I see it is like this. If there's anyone that's gonna help the killing spree and give them an edge local, it's gonna be him. So the sooner we put a lid on that, the better. I thought it was already handled, but I guess shit happened. And that's alright, I get it. Shit happens.
If we can keep him alive, would that give us any sway over Reese?
I don't know, he and I aren't exactly on speaking terms.
That makes sense. I think you tried to put a slug in his chest, didn't you?
Try? No. I gotta head to a meeting.
Where are you going?
I have a meeting with Mr. Roman Pendragon.
Pendragon.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's taken an interest in these domains.
Are you looking to negotiate joining up with him, or keeping him out of the domain?
He sent me a message asking to talk, saying he heard about my situation and wanted to look out for, one Bruja to another. He recently took Praxis over Hartford, so he's in control of that. He's also the Prince of Springfield, Mass, and a handful of other locations.
Jesus.
Supposedly, him and a handful of other elders came from England to something called Operation Longbow.
Yeah, you would tell me about that.
Yeah.
Real old world types, right?
Right. Well, the army that he's raised has kind of given him an opportunity to take and hold multiple praxises.
Jesus.
He thinks he's some sort of answer to the Sabbat. I'm not convinced, but I figure I'd hear him out.
Well, we don't want to keep you. But we're grateful that you came out to talk to us, man.
You don't think he's planning on putting out a call to arms, do you?
I think he is. And more importantly, I think he's going to try to get me to do it.
Cross that bridge when we come to it?
Yeah. He gets up.
Weathers.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, when you put a slug in that guy's chest, you saved a little boy from a lifetime of torture. So, don't think...
To me, that's worth a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
He drops a 50 down to cover these coffees, and he gives the two of you a nod and heads out. You guys be safe.
You do the same, old man.
He steps out.
I think we gotta go talk to Miles. Convince him we gotta go talk to Nix.
Yeah.
And since, Wynn has already finished her coffee, Johnny nurses hers for a few moments, and then the two of you head out. Outside, Kabir's car is still waiting for you. Kabir himself seems to have disappeared into the night.
I mean, how good a friend is he?
I reach in and I beat the horn a couple times.
You kind of see this, Kabir come from the gas station next door. He's got this, his head's on a swivel. He's definitely looking around for any signs of a scourge. And he makes his way over. Johnny, it's good to see you. How was your meeting?
So you never got hospitality, huh?
Well, I was going to, but as you know, the city has been very tumultuous, and
you buy me a pack of cigarettes over there?
He raises his hand with a fresh pack of cigarettes, a nice little green Bic lighter, and he gives both of them to you as like a semi-formal apology for being a shit.
See, this is why we're friends. He passes the Bic lighter.
We're best
over
friends.
To you.
Wynn takes the lighter and sticks it in her pocket.
All right. When is this nodist coming into JFK?
I'm gonna need a few nights. He's coming all the way from Baghdad.
Baghdad?
Yes.
Who the fuck do you know in Baghdad?
I know lots of people in Baghdad. It's a very big city.
All right. I could probably make it down to JFK in an hour and a half, 2 hours from here.
It's a very quick ride,
And
mostly safe.
And you're coming back up to New Haven?
Yes, they want to go to New Haven.
Are you planning on getting hospitality once the two of you come back to New Haven?
Perfectly honest answer, my friend. Probably not. But I do intend to stay out of trouble, which is very similar to getting hospitality.
All right. You help with my family. I owe you this. When's this guy coming into JFK?
It's going to be about maybe a week or so. I don't have the exact day. They're trying to lay low and avoid their own trouble. I do not think they will bring trouble with them. Don't even ask. There's no way to know for sure. Anyways,
Yeah,
Kabir, you tell me, you get me an actual date that you need me driving, and I can do this for you. You don't get me a date, I don't know if I can make that promise.
Okay, I will get you a date right away.
Johnny, if you need a riding buddy.
Yes, it would be very good to have a riding buddy. More riding buddies, the better. This crawling all over New York. But I think we can mostly be safe. We'll be fine.
Is anyone actually looking for this guy?
Yes.
Who is looking for this guy?
He did not give me exacts. I do know there's an army of assassins. However, this army of assassins resides almost on the other side of the entire globe. So, the chances
and there's no chance they have access to airplanes.
No, of course not.
Just because this nodist has access to airplanes,
Most
obviously
of these assassins don't even use guns. They use knives. They're very old.
Somehow that doesn't make me feel better.
So we're talking about a nodist kindred from the Middle East who's being chased by assassins with knives.
Yes.
Kabir, are you dragging me into Assamite bullshit?
They are also technically Assamites.
He gives this hard, withering gaze.
Johnny, I'm very sorry. I would not ask this if it wasn't important and if they were not paying me a great deal of money.
I feel like the importance is amplified by the great deal of money.
I also agree that the importance is amplified by a great deal of money.
Johnny nods his head, just kind of like up and down, but also just ever so slightly side to side. Like, yeah, I'm going to help you out with this, but God fucking damn it.
No, I can swing the butt. I don't want you to feel bad or that you're making the wrong decision. This is all for the best.
Best for who?
I pay
everyone. Everyone will be happy when
I pay my debts, Kabir.
Thank you, Johnny.
And aside from that, I'd like to think we are actually friends.
We are best friends.
Despite catching each other at bad moments. He kind of brushes off his
collar. We are
very
unlucky friends, but we are also best friends.
The more he says it, the worse it feels.
I got another vehicle over on the east side near East Haven, right by the bridge. Do you mind if we head over that way and you can drop us there?
Actually, Johnny, I will do you one better. This car, it is stolen, but you can probably use it for another day without any worries. I give this car to you as a gift, my friend.
Wow.
It is a temporary gift, but for the time being, it is yours. Drive it like you stole it. I know you can.
You're so generous.
I shouldn't like you, Kabir, but I do.
Obviously. I'm kidding. That was a joke. Ravnos joke. I also like you.
Yeah, I could tell.
All right.
I'm going to go. He kind of gives the two of you away.
He grabs Kabir's hand and they kind of pulls him in for a hug.
He gives him a hug.
Stay safe, man.
He smells like the cheapest cologne.
Sex Panther.
He definitely bought it in that gas station.
Dracar near. Isn't this supposed to say noir? It's supposed to.
Supposed to. That's the fake version.
They charge you extra for the noir.
Much more premium.
He gives you this like big old hug. And he heads over and he tries to like hug Wynn.
She gives this look like, nope.
Okay, he like puts his hands down and then he is off on his way back to the gas station he came from.
You got weird friends.
It happens when you travel.
Sure. Yeah, I realize that's a bold card for me to play.
All right, let's go find Miles and Britta and tell them the news.
All right.
All right, so the two of you hop
As
back
the sheriff, he also may need to know that we blew up a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, we'll get to that
Okay.
gently.
So you talk then.
I got a lot of experience telling the sheriff bad news.
The two of you hop back into the station wagon
I don't like my new job.
and ride off to go pass on some bad news.
Path of Night is an actual play Vampire the Masquerade podcast set in the classic world of darkness. Britta Ashcroft the Toreador was played by Rebecca Steigelfest. Johnny Saxon the Bruja was played by Garrett Gabbey. Miles Davenport the Ventrue was played by Tim Davis. Neil Foster the Malkavian was played by Rob Muirhead. Wynn Cabot the Gangrel was played by Erika Webb. Your storyteller was Lex Lopez. Recording by Rebecca Steigelfest. This episode was edited by Rob Muirhead. The music used in this episode was January Grunge Love Fest by Technoaxe. Visit them online at technoaxe.com. Path of Night uses the 20th anniversary edition rule set of Vampire the Masquerade with a few limited house rules. Vampire the Masquerade is owned by Paradox Interactive. Make sure to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at Path of Night Pod, on Facebook at facebook.com/Path of Night Podcast, or email us at pathofnightpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time, Kindred.
What a fucking good character. All right. Oh, god damn it.
I don't know how I wanted that to go, but I am not shocked at that outcome.
I'm so about it.
I would also love if this chronicle continues and I never meet Kabir.
No, I swear, the shotgun had something to do with Kabir.
What happened to the shotgun? Kabir ate it. I promise it wasn't me, bro.
No, he drank my spit coffee. This tracks.
We're talking about your imaginary friend again, Johnny?
Wynn's got her imaginary friends. You've got your imaginary friends.
For sure, Neil has... Oh.
Britta's got imaginary friends.
Neil
now.
used to have friends.
Miles is the only one who doesn't have imaginary friends.
That's because I have real friends.
Oh.
Oh.
Miles just
people you
dunking on the whole corner at once. Fuck you nerds.
People you
have a
pay
life.
don't count.
That's
I don't pay them.
super legit.
Uh-huh.
They want to do it.
Do you make them want to do it?
That is
Only
not
some
the
of them.
importance of... All right.
Come hang out at my haven. It'll be good for your music careers. The exposure is worth much more than money.
He offers you exposure. You're an asshole.
Oh, it's the late 90s.
You can't.
Exposure flies then.
Yeah.
Tim is excitedly nodding like, yep, that's the kind of guy I am.
No, it's
That's me.
that's straight up part of my story, yeah. It sucks.